chilly fall day. It's not very often you see Haley and I in long sleeves, and my knee is a little cold.
Well, you're always cold.
I'm not always cold. I'm not always cold. Anyhow, today is Thursday, which means our weekly C.S.A. program, but today is the last one. So we have a lot of questions, a lot of people asking exactly how the C.S.A. works. I'm going to explain it right now. So what happens is you can have it December, January, or February, or whatever you would like. We put it on social media. We email people that have been in our programs before to see if they're interested in this C.S.A. program. A lot of people don't know what C.S.A. is, so we word it as C.S.A., and in brackets you can put fresh food box, you can put fresh produce program, whatever you want to make them understand. We do up a flyer and put it on Facebook. So we have 3 different Facebooks. We have our Spring Hill Farms, my personal Facebook, and Scream Hill Farms, our annual haunt Facebook page. We posted on all of that. Social media is so great. It's the best place to advertise what you're doing. So we put our flyer on, and we say that so next year in January or February, whenever, we will put taking registrations for 2019 C.S.A. So we will have phone calls. We put a phone number and our email address. We'll have phone calls and emails. We'll also have private messages on our Facebook pages with people that are interested. Now, what we do is we allow our existing customers first dibs at it because they've been in it for so long, like for so many years. And generally everybody wants back in. So most years we up our numbers. So what happens is when they register, we don't have a registration form or anything. That's entirely up to you. We've been lucky this way. It's worked out. When they register, they have to pay us half the amount for the C.S.A. We charge $570 for the 14-week season. So they will pay that half. Pardon? With or without eggs. Yeah, we offer with or without because we have a lot of vegans that don't want the eggs. So that's their choice. And so $570 with eggs. And if they're not going to get eggs, we just take off the amount of whatever you're going to charge for eggs, or whatever you do charge for eggs if you do. You just deduct that from the total amount of the program. So they pay half when they register. We take it's really important because we've done this, take their email address and their cell phone number or home landline number as a contact, because if you have to get a hold of them for any reason, you've got it. Once in a while we had forgotten and we were scurrying to try to find these people. So anyhow, that's what we do. We take half of that money because we have to plan for our season. So with that half payment, we will order our seed. We have to make sure that we have enough product to carry them on for the 14 weeks. So at $570 per season, that is about $40.71 it works out to. Roman. Come here. $40.71 per week. So you have to make sure that you fulfill that each week. You don't have to start out big like that. You can do a small program where you just offer greens, or just start out small to begin with. We have in this program we have 32. And we
started out just giving a little bit to like somebody else ran it.
Yeah, when we first started out, that's right. When we first started out, we went in with other farmers, local farmers. So we would supply the strawberries, say, and carrots or whatever, and then that the person that was that spearheaded this whole thing, she would come pick all that up from us and then go from farmer to farmer. We didn't really think that worked that well. We would rather do it on our own, only because we know when you put product into another box that other farmers are putting it into, people don't know exactly where what came from, and if they have bad product in there, it's on your name as well. So That's
Yeah.
just something we decided that we would do our own.
And we have enough stuff to do everything.
We do. So what you could do, last year we had 62 families. Haley would go into their place in Calendar, and that was a drop off, and then we had here. We dropped that the Calendar drop off in the town of Calendar because we need Haley here. We need all staff here. So you could start out with instead of a 14-week program like we do, you could start out with
4 months. That is 4 months. I
No.
guess, eh?
no.
Like a summer.
Yeah, but but you could start out with just a 6-week program if you want. And instead of doing a $570 C.S.A, you could do whatever you want. So if you're only going to be growing greens, say carrots or tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever, figure it out and try to see what works for you. You also, there was something else I was going to say. Okay, I know what it was. So instead of doing a program with 32 people or a huge amount of people, if you wanted to go bigger, you can. But start with 5. Start with 5 people. And word travels fast. So you give them top quality product. They're loving your product. It might take a couple of years for them to get into it. Start your program small and work your way up. I'm sure we could take 100 people.
Probably.
Seriously, we have such a waiting list. So many people throughout the season also want to join in while it is already started and they want to hop on board, but we don't because we grow ahead. So it's basically like a share. They're buying into a share. We buy the seeds and we do the labor. We do everything. They come.
We grow their veggies for them.
We grow their veggies for them. So it's people that don't have the know-how, people that don't have the time, people that don't have the space. We do it for them. They come and they normally, I'll just show you with this. They normally get a tote like this, full of produce. Oops. And we put the lid on it. I mean, this is just stuff we're putting in the tote. And each week that goes, they bring that tote back the next week clean, and we have one ready for them to go. So this week, being the last week, this is what I'm going to get one with no eggs. Well, they all have eggs in them. We're going to put them into cardboard boxes for the last week because next week they don't want to have to come back to bring us the empty tote. It just saves them some time.
So that's something else we do is start collecting boxes that are big enough.
Yeah. And we just made it. So we have the cardboard boxes will be going out today. It's really sad to see our customers go for the season. But at the same time, it's like, thank goodness it's over. So we find 14 weeks is a perfect length of time. Like I said, if you want to go a little bit shorter, go shorter, or you want to go longer, go longer. It depends on your growing season. Ours, now I said, fall is pretty much in the air. So we're done. And
you are doing a winter one.
We're doing a winter one, yes, in the lettuce house. So it'll be greens and our tomatoes and peppers and cucumbers until they're no more. But it's even the customers coming each Thursday, and they're really good. We have a great bunch of customers. So thank you all. They're fed up by this. They're not fed up. They're tired of coming every Thursday. They want to get into the fall routine now and working into winter and whatever. So everybody's happy. They're sad to see it go because they get the fresh, beautiful produce from us. But they can still do the winter one, which will only be basically grains. So anyhow, that's what I wanted to let you know. I don't think there would be any more questions other than that. Oh, so the second payment. When they come to pick up their very first pickup date is usually the second last week in June. Is the very first or second last Thursday in June is their first pickup date, and that's when they pay the remainder of the balance. And we don't have problems, and that's why it's really important though to keep contact information. We do not. Even if they're people that have been in our program for 8-10 years, we don't register them, put them on the master sheet until that first payment is done. Because what happens is things happen. A lot of them are like, yeah, I want in. We get the odd one like this. And then come time for us to do it, we haven't heard from them. So make sure that you have that half payment. At least you've got that. You can write up another thing when you're doing your kind of, not really contract because they're not signing it. It's just a rules form. They have to be here between, our pickup time is between 4 and 6 on every Thursday. And we ask them to please not be late because even though we're farmers, we have a life. And that's important. You need a life. And things happen where we have to be understanding. I mean, things happen where people can't, but they're really good for letting us know. Just have your rules set out before you do this. But the most important thing is when you are planning your season, make sure that you have enough to fulfill what they have paid for. There are crop failures, so just have an extra thing that you can throw in there. So say if, I don't know, you have extra zucchini and you're going to substitute that for something else that didn't make it that year. Just
Farmers average what for price?
$40.71, but generally they get about in between $43 and $47 per week. We just add because, I mean, these customers are so great, and word of mouth is the most important way to grab these people and just show them and educate them. A lot of them, we've had a customer with little Jerry. He started coming here when he was 2, and he is now, I think, in grade 1, and they love it. And Jerry knows everything about every vegetable. It's so good to educate the kids that on everything isn't grown in the grocery store, because they take for granted. They go to the grocery store with their mom and dad and they figure that's where everything comes from. So it's nice for them to come to the farm and actually see us cleaning up our cauliflower. You know, our beets aren't like perfectly washed, and we don't because they last a little bit longer. I mean, you shake off the dirt or whatever. So that's it.
New stuff like patty pans.
Yeah.
And kohlrabi.
Yeah.
That people don't know they would never buy.
Yeah.
And then it's in the tote, and they get to look up what they can make, and they might really love it.
Yeah.
Whereas they wouldn't eat it before.
And that's something one of our customers were telling us. They get their kids to Google it and try to find the vegetable that they don't, like the mystery vegetable that's in the tote. And that's how they learn. And then they go on to Google again or whatever, find a recipe for that vegetable. So it's as well as the nutrition and just the great produce that they get. It's teaching them too. So you have to educate your customers. So anyhow, we are going to get to our last packing. Sad but true. So I'm going to bring you around and show you what they're getting. Okay, just a quick scan here. We're going to give them a beautiful butternut squash. They are going to get some arugula and some lettuce, which hasn't been brought up here yet. They're still harvesting. Some cauliflower, green onions, leeks, large onions, tomatoes, our carnival pepper squash, apples that are absolutely delicious. There's more carnival squash. They're going to get potatoes. They're going to get some red peppers, beets, and tomatoes. Is that it?
I think so.
I think that's it. So anyhow, we'll turn you this way so we're not blacked out. Oh, and garlic. They're going to get garlic today.
Awesome.
So we have to gather up the garlic and put them in the totes as well. So I hope that answered any questions. If you have more, comment below and we'll answer them. And now we'll have more time for uploading videos. So I hope this all made sense. Like I said, if I missed something, just let me know, and we will answer any questions you may have. So that's it. Let's get this last CSA done. Have a good day, guys. Bye.
Bye.